The first key. The key felt heavy in Akito's palm, colder and more real than he had imagined. Behind him, his father's car disappeared around the corner, leaving him alone in front of the quiet apartment building. He took a deep breath, shifted his backpack, and stepped into his new life. The hallway smelled of floor wax and possibilities. The first night was quieter than Akito expected. There was no sound of his mother humming in the kitchen or the distant rumble of the television. He sat on the floor, the wooden boards cool beneath him, and realized he didn't own a chair yet. His dinner was a steaming cup of noodles, eaten by the light of a single desk lamp. Adulthood, Akito soon discovered, was a series of small, colorful disasters. He had never realized that a single red sock could turn an entire week's worth of white shirts into a pale shade of sunset pink. He stood in the communal laundry room, staring at his laundry basket with wide eyes, wondering if he could pull off a new look. The grocery store was a battlefield of budgets. Akito spent 20 minutes in the aisle staring at the difference between organic eggs and the store brand. He tapped a rhythm on his chin with his finger, his phone's calculator app open and glowing. He was learning that every yen had a purpose, and fancy cheese was a luxury for another month. On Tuesday, a massive box arrived containing a bookshelf he had ordered online. It was heavier than it looked, and Akito found himself stuck in the hallway, panting as he tried to nudge it through his door. "Need a hand with that?" a voice asked. It was Kenji, the neighbor from 3B, who was leaning against his doorway with a friendly smile. Kenji didn't just help carry the box, he stayed to help build it. The two of them sat on the floor, surrounded by wooden planks and confusing diagrams. Akito watched as Kenji expertly tightened a bolt. "The trick is to not rush," Kenji said. "Buildings, furniture, and lives, they all take time to put together properly." Inspired by Kenji's kindness, Akito decided it was time to move past instant noodles. He bought a bag of rice, some potatoes, and a box of curry roux. He stood in his tiny kitchen, a borrowed apron tied around his waist, carefully dicing vegetables like he was performing surgery. The aroma began to fill the room, warm and spicy. The curry was a little too thick, and the potatoes were slightly crunchy in the middle, but it was the best meal Akito had ever tasted. He sat at his newly built bookshelf, which was currently serving as a temporary table. He realized that the mistakes didn't matter as much as the fact that he had made something himself. A month passed, and the apartment began to feel less like a box of things and more like a home. Akito added a small potted plant to the windowsill and hung a poster on the wall. He stood on his balcony as the sun set over the city, feeling the cool evening breeze. He wasn't just surviving, he was growing. That night, Akito picked up his phone and called home. When his mother answered, asking how he was doing, he looked around at his pink shirts, his sturdy bookshelf, and his half-eaten curry. He smiled, leaning back into his sofa. "I'm doing great, Mom," he said. "I'm figuring it out, one step at a time."